Welcome to the Sweat Simple podcast. I'm Brooks, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you learn how to eat and exercise for real life, not just those perfect moments. Because let's be real, there is a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change, but I'll also be sharing practical, real-life application because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. Today, we are talking all about why you never feel motivated for your goals. And we are gearing up for 2026. I know a lot of you are starting to think about your health and fitness goals. Maybe you're getting ready to set some sort of weight loss goal, but maybe you know that you fall into a pretty typical pattern where the start of the year or the first couple weeks of a new goal, you're feeling really motivated, you're feeling really good, and then you always tend to drop off. You just cannot keep motivation going long term. And maybe you've even heard and oh, okay, I can't rely on motivation to carry me through. Or motivation is just the one everyone loves to use. And I've actually used it in the past as a coach, is that motivation is an emotion and it's going to come and go. And just like how we can't expect to be, happy all the time, we can't expect to be motivated all the time. And that is actually not quite correct. When we are thinking about motivation, we actually have different types of motivation. And if our health and fitness goals are fueled by the right type of motivation, you actually will feel motivated most of the time. But this motivation feels really different than how you're maybe approaching your health and fitness goals right now. So it's not that we need to somehow cultivate, more motivation, or you need to, be more disciplined and you need to figure out how to grit through. It's not really about that. If you want to stay motivated with your health and fitness goals in 2026 and you don't want to fall into this constant cycle of high motivation, low motivation, ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, then we need to make sure that we are being fueled by the right motivation. And we need to set up our goals in a different way. Because most of us, when we are thinking about health and fitness goals, whether it's the start of the year, whether it's the start of the month, whether it's any time we feel like we hit rock bottom and we have to do something, we often think about tangible things that we need to do. And most health and fitness challenges are set up this way. So this is what you guys are seeing on social media. You see 75 hard and you're like, okay, I need to do things. I need to lay out tasks and I just need to do these tasks every day. Whole30 does this too. You just have a list of foods that you can eat. Again, most fitness challenges are set up by just giving you things to do. Here is a calorie target. These are the foods you can eat. You need to go to the gym this many times. So it's natural that when you think about your own health and fitness journey and you think about setting new goals, your brain also goes to those tangible things. You're like, I just need to take action. I just need to do these things. But the reason you're here listening to this podcast, if you're not at your goal yet, is probably because at some point those things become really hard to do. You never seem to feel motivated in the moment. It's amazing to do 75 hard and say, I'm going to do 2 workouts a day. And you go to get that afternoon walk in and it's raining and you're supposed to do an outdoor workout. And you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't know. I'm not motivated to do this. Or, maybe you've been tracking calories for 3 weeks and you're feeling really burnt out and you're like, I don't want to track calories. I'm just not motivated to do these things in the moment. Maybe you don't want to cook dinner after a long day of work. That motivation to do the things, to do the tasks, it really fades, which is why in my coaching program, instead of just giving you things to do, I really start with your core values. Because if we can create our health and fitness goals and our health and fitness priorities based around our core values, we are a lot more likely to stay motivated and to actually want to do these things. One of my clients actually said it best the other day. She was talking about how she's been eating a lot healthier. And she's like, I want to do these things. It's not that I feel like I have to. And that is the biggest shift of when we go from just creating tasks that we feel like we must do to creating goals centered around our core values. We want to do these things. That motivation feels much higher versus when we feel like we have to do these things, we're just checking things off a list. The motivation isn't really there. It feels like something we need to do as opposed to something we want to do. So when we are setting goals and when we are thinking about, even creating these health and fitness tasks and daily behaviors, what we really want to do is make sure eventually we are getting to the point where we want to do these things. So with my coaching program, we start with values. So what are values? Why are these important? Values are just ultimately how we want to show up in the world and the qualities that we want to bring to our action. And this matters for our health and fitness goals because if we are just doing things and we are just focusing on tasks, but they don't matter to us, they're not important to us, we don't really see a purpose in them, we're never going to be very motivated to do those things. And a good example of this would be if you are someone who really values connection and going out with your friends and having community. But when you're thinking about health and fitness goals, something you see often is, well, I need to eat at home. I have to cook at home. So you set this goal of I'm only going to eat out once a month. But then every weekend, your friends invite you to go do something and you're throwing this goal out the window and you're going to the restaurant. You're going to happy hour. You're going to the wine bar. Obviously that's going to happen because you're not sticking to that core value of food and connection. You created a goal that is actively opposing something that you've said is really important to you. So of course you're not going to be motivated in the moment because your values are always going to win out. So when your friend invites you to the happy hour, you get invited to the wine bar, your value is I want friends, I want connection, I want community. Your goal is I need to eat at home. That value is going to win out every time. So if your goals are feeling really sticky and you're having a hard time sticking to these things and you're not really following through on these tasks, it's probably because your goals and the tasks that you set for yourself aren't actually rooted in your values. And there's a big disconnect there. Another one to look at too is maybe you notice you're never motivated to track calories. You are never feeling like doing it. It's feeling really sticky. You have a lot of resistance to it. Maybe you do it for a couple weeks and then you always throw the towel out. But your main motivator for tracking calories is to see the scale go down. And that's what you're doing. That's why you're doing it. But what you really care about, your ultimate core value is improving your health, learning how to eat until you're comfortably full, improving your relationship with food, then tracking calories isn't going to seem very important because tracking calories gives you education about portion control, but tracking calories doesn't really help you learn how to eat until you're comfortably full. Tracking calories isn't necessarily helping you improve your health unless you're also focused on nutrient quality. So we need to make sure that when we are setting up our goals, they're actively in line with our core values. Otherwise, there's going to continue to be that disconnect and you're going to continue to feel like you are always fighting to find motivation, to find discipline. And really, guys, we don't have to fight that hard. When we create goals and we are motivated by these core values, following through on your health and fitness goals starts to feel a lot easier. That motivation starts to feel a lot more consistent and a lot easier to find. We will always likely lose motivation for our goals if they are not centered around what is really important to us. So, what I want you to do instead, when we are thinking about 2026 goals or anytime next year you are thinking about setting a health and fitness goal, starting a health and fitness journey, I want you to create your actions and your goals based around your values. So spend some time thinking about your actual priorities. And some of my one-on-one coaching clients, if they're really unsure about this, I have a values and priorities worksheet that we actually walk through together so that they can get really clear about what is actually important to me in my life and how can I start to shift these goals and create these goals around that. So I want you to think about that. What are your priorities? What matters to you in your life? Maybe it's community. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's spending time with family. Maybe it's your career. What are the big things that matter to you in life? And then how do your health and fitness goals relate to this? how can you sprinkle some of these values and some of your priorities into the daily action that you're taking? So if having energy as you get older is really important to you, okay, we probably need some sort of goal and daily action around movement. If improving your overall health is really important to you, okay, maybe we need some sort of daily action or goal around eating vegetables. Those are just two random examples I came up with, and they're probably not the best one because I thought of them on the fly, but that's what we need to do. We need to start to sprinkle these values and priorities into our daily action. Maybe one of your big values is community and spending time with family. Okay, then we really need to make sure that the health and fitness plan that we're on isn't one that has you eating completely different meals than the rest of your family and you're in the kitchen cooking while they're already eating their meal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to really make sure that we are choosing plans and we are choosing programs that are actively taking in our values and our priorities into mind, like my one-on-one coaching program does. So, really make sure this feels aligned to you. If learning about nutrition content and understanding portions of your food isn't a priority for you, tracking calories isn't going to feel very motivating. If movement and having more energy isn't really important to you, maybe we don't want to be strength training, or like building a lot of muscle isn't a value for you. We probably don't need to be strength training, you know? So these are the things I want you guys to think about as you're setting your goals. So when we're thinking about 2026, we have to keep our goals and our values in mind if we want to continue to feel motivated long term. So like I said at the very start of the podcast, it is not about learning how to show up even when we're not motivated. It is not about having more discipline. It is about cultivating the right kind of motivation. And one of the ways we can do that is to make sure that our core values are in line with the health and fitness goals and the health and fitness behaviors that we are working on. So if you're not sure where to start with that, hit me up, apply in the show notes. I would love to work with you in one-on-one coaching. Like I mentioned, my one-on-one program is really centered around your core health values, what's important to you, and how we can set up behaviors that really support that so that all of this starts to feel easy. And you can be like my client who said, I want to do these things. I don't feel like I have to do these things. So if that's what you're looking for, I'd love to work with you. Don't forget too, I pick one person every single month to win a free personalized fat loss blueprint with me. So you are getting a personalized nutrition and strength training program. All you have to do is share this episode to your stories or leave a review, and I pick one person every single month. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions, as always, hit me up in the DMs. I love chatting with you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good week.